Red Dreaded Entertainment, what is up, guys? Akasan. So, here's something I wanted to, actually been wanting to follow up with you guys a little bit about the CW superhero shows anyways, but I thought now is some good timing to let you guys know. They just announced, either it was this morning when I woke up or right before I went to sleep last night, but they announced that almost all but one CW DC type show, superhero type show, has been renewed for another season. Everything except one movie, one show. Let's break it down for you. Surprise, surprise. Supergirl has been renewed for another season. We're going into season 4 now. I'm happy about that. I think that show has a lot of potential that a lot of people, I think, gave up on just with the fact that it's named Supergirl. But I actually think there's a lot going on there. I mean, we saw the Lex suit handled fairly well in this show. So I'm down with that. I hope they readjust the schedule a little bit more to make both Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl shine. Legends of Tomorrow is renewed, and I'm happy with that. I've been watching it. I've been watching every episode. I like the fact that Wally is in there. They give him something to do, but it's kind of interesting to see how they use a speedster, but he doesn't really overpower the show so much. Like, he's not that overpowered in the show, but I do still miss the element of speed, dealing with the Speed Force, but obviously that's for the Flash. We'll get to that one in a bit. Black Lightning. Black Lightning has been renewed for another season. That's season 2 here we're going on. I'm enjoying this show. I just got caught up a little bit earlier today. I'm actually really enjoying this particular show. I don't know if it would be reactionable. Maybe it is now. Maybe it is now. The first couple of episodes it was not for me, only because you're just learning these characters and getting adjusted to them. But I actually really do like this show. I honestly wish Riff TV was still around, because I thought it would be a great thing for me to do commentary on, but just timing, there's no time for me to edit. I can barely edit the shows I'm handling now. But I'm really liking the show. I'm liking where it's going, and I like without spoiling anything, I'm liking the fact that not everybody really wants to save the world, and and it shows a different side of being a hero, more or less, not just being a hero, but being a father. That's what I like about that the most. Being a father and a principal and taking after kids, and it's not always about just beating up people. You have to be pretty tactical and to win, to play the game, so to speak. So I really like how it is. And like I said, not everybody really if they discover that they have powers or whatever, not everybody really wants to be a hero. And I kind of like that. It kind of gives a very X-Men-ish side to things. So I hope they include it a little bit more into the Arrowverse next season. I think that would be great. But on its own, it really stands out more than any of the other shows right now, which I think is a great thing. It doesn't feel like any of the other DC CW shows. We got all that. The Arrow. Arrow. I'm glad I got the suit, because we are going in for another season. We got another season coming, baby. Like, some people are like, oh no, but like, a lot of people feel like Arrow has run its course, which in some form or fashion, I understand why a lot of people have felt like that. It's really hard for people to come back into the show. I know this, but I'm excited only because this, right before the mid-season break, Arrow showed me that it could still be good if it does certain things. Some plot points are really dumb, and just like when the two teams were fighting with each other, we were calling it Civil War, because nobody cares. Nobody cares about the new team, I think. And I think for me, these last couple of episodes of Arrow, the main reason it's been good is because it reminds me of the old episodes of Arrow, the old seasons. They're using the old team. They did a throwback. Roy is back, or was back for a bit, and they even did a whole homage to one of his characters in the comics, the costume style. I'm liking it. Nisso was back for a bit. I think that's the reason I'm enjoying it the most, because you actually get Oliver being the Green Arrow. And I think that's one of the things that have made both Arrow and Flash kind of sucky early this season, is neither one was actually in costume doing what we all tuned in for them to see. But now we do see Arrow coming back in this upcoming episode. As far as I know, the way they're kind of leading into it, with John Diggle and Oliver coming to butting heads in here, I think that's going to be fucking dope. We're going to see Arrow versus Blairow. The Green Arrow versus Blairow. I think that'll be really cool to see that happen. So, I'm down with that. If they can give us, and they have a pretty good bad guy right now, it's intriguing again. I think Arrow can bounce back. So if they can keep going that way, I think it'll be fine. It was started off really strong. It dipped a bit, and now I think it's building back up again. I think they can at least get at least one more season, and then announce that'll be like a final season going on. Something like that. I'd be down for something like that. Let's go for 10. Let's go for 10, Arrow. And then Izombie. Izombie is the one that was not renewed. Izombie was not renewed. As far as we know, they're still waiting to see, as far as I've been told. They're waiting to see what's up with Izombie. To be honest, I've never watched one episode of the show. I didn't know it was even really connected to anything else within the DC, CW, DC TV type world. I don't even know what comic it's based on. Is there an Izombie DC comic? I didn't know. I have no idea. Anyways, I'm sure Dante's watched it. He watches everything. He loves everything. So I'm sure he's watched it. Maybe we'll get him to talk about that more. But it seems like they don't really know if they're going to bring it back for another season. And finally, The Flash. The Flash. Renewed for season 5. Grant Gustin, he went on and he thanked everybody, and he asked people to please keep watching the show. All I'm gonna say is that their season 4, in my mind, has been the worst season. Of everything that's been renewed, that was everything that's been renewed, that announced that was renewed for another season, it's sad and surprising that Flash is actually the least show I'm interested in being renewed. It's kind of like, okay. I had no excitement about that announcement, and I just think it's the way the season 4, the CW season 4 curse, man. Supergirl better watch out. Legends of Tomorrow better watch out. That season 4 curse, man, I don't know what it is. And ironically, I feel like a lot of season 4 in The Flash is doing exactly what, by far, the worst season, Arrow, the Arrow series, season 4 is doing exactly, it's going the same beat, the same situation. It's doing certain things with certain characters that are making you turning us, the audience, to start hating them. And I think that's crazy. There was a time when Flash was everything. Flash was life. I went out and I rushed out and I bought that Blu-ray because it had me up there late at night thinking about time travel and flash points, and if the science of believing in the impossible. And it just doesn't really have that feeling anymore. And I think that's sad, that something I was so devoted to, something I was so into, lost me right around season... I personally thought season 3 could have been better, but with Savitar and what they... Future Flash, I thought those were some really strong points that I feel like they wrapped up really quickly toward the end of the season. And where I don't have a problem with the Thinker, I think the Thinker is actually one of the most interesting points of season 4 right now, but they just don't have enough story for him, and they keep on diving into some other boring Freak of the Week type episodes, and we don't even see Barry doing anything for the most part. If anything, the whole focus, I think we've had Iris do more as the Flash in that last episode than we've seen Barry do this entire season, and that's crazy. Like, to think that I don't know what's going on, and I don't have a problem with Iris. She hasn't gotten to Felicity levels yet. So season 4's Felicity levels, and actually Felicity has become better. She's become fairly good in season 5, tolerable I should say, or is that season 6 of Arrow? Like, we've been good with that, but I'm fine. I'm like, I think from what a lot of people took into the last episode of The Flash, they're kind of soft rebooting Iris into a position that works better for the show, giving her something to do again, and realizing that just because you're saying we are the Flash, when you actually become the Flash, it's the weight of the responsibility is a little bit different when you're actually out there doing that shit. A lot easier than calling things out from a keyboard or whatever. I miss Eobard, because at least we knew, like, when Eobard was posing as Wells, but at least we knew, well, this dude could actually go out and do that shit when he's out there coaching and shit. They're like, well, he actually has been doing that for a while. Anyways, but I digress. There's whatever bet that the Flash writers lost in terms of we're going to try and make a funny show and make a comedy out of the Flash. I personally disagree. I will hope they stop and get back into the science aspect of things. I think it would work a lot better in their benefit in having us believe in the impossible once again. There's been some great jewels in an otherwise mediocre season. There's been some pretty decent episodes. The Trial of the Flash, Flash Time, the Origin of the Thinker. I thought that one was pretty good too. I really can't think of any others that really stand out. This whole thing, everything else has just kind of been like, meh, whatever. The Iris Run one, it wasn't a strong episode, but it was tolerable. I'm just talking about purely strong episodes where you're like, damn, man, that's what I'm talking about. I think those were good. And then when Barry was in jail, that was pretty interesting. I like. So, anyways, I hope The Flash wraps up strong and has us talking about it again, has us excited for it again on a weekly basis. And I hope next season they'll really come with it now. I hope next season they'll invite me to Vancouver and put me on, because we're talking about bus metas. I'll ride the bus. Put Akasan in the show, damn it. Believe in the impossible. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to me and my rant about the CW DC TV shows. I'm looking forward to it. And yes, I'm sure somebody down there already typed it. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., yes, it's very good. I know people really enjoy it. I just am so behind that maybe one day I will pick it up. If, honestly speaking, if they put that shit on Netflix, Disney TV, I'm waiting on you on that one too. If they put it on there, I probably would start checking it out again. One of the main reasons I'm catching up on Black Lightning is because it's dropping immediately on Netflix, and I love that. Do that more. Do that some more, people. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Make sure if you liked what I'm talking about here, just straight commentary. If you want to see more of this, my thoughts on what's going on in the industry, I got a lot to say. Make sure you subscribe, check out some of my social media and my other videos, and I'll check you on the next one. Peace.
Good morning. I'm heading in to shoot some Flash right now. Only 3 weeks left this season, but we get at least one more season. So I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching. Please keep watching.